So welcome back friends. Welcome to the second session of the second day of the Advanced Price Action Trading Program as a part of the I3T3 Mega Webinar. The topic of discussion right now is compression theory. Okay. So it is an interesting theory. It is all about approach. It's not about trades. Let's get into the details. Please have a look at the disclaimer. The compression theory eat away all the orders. What happens, friends? What will happen when the two hands that you see in the photo compresses that particular metal spring beyond a point? What will happen? That spring will bounce back, right? That is the purpose of the spring. It will push back the energy away. Compression is a type of price action which signifies the reversal of a price trend. Okay? Which signifies the reversal of a trend, which signifies that okay, I would like to reframe my sentence. Sorry about that, friends. Compression is confirmed by the type of wedges it makes, either downward or upward wedge. In each case, demand or supply is cleared, reaching the point of zero supply and demand. The angle of compression must not be beyond 45, which can be mistaken with an upward downward trend. Oh, don't worry too much about these statements. When we go into the anatomy, as usual, all you will understand the whole phenomenon and life would be easy for us. Okay. Compression leads to zero demand or supply, at which point price jumps into high liquidity area, which can be mapped on the chart, and this area becomes the turning point, or the TP can be the point of beginning of the compression as traders prefer. The best entry points is where? The best entry point for traders is where, friends? The best entry point for traders is where there is lot of the best entry point is where there is lot of pending orders. Pending orders is the foundation to trade for a price action trader. Hence, we always look for retracement to a particular zone for trading. Why do we wait for retracement? We wait for retracement because that is where we think there are lot of pending orders. Okay, now the phenomenon will be crystal clear for you after this slide. I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when you do presentation at the last minute. Because our guys are smart, they'll identify such mistakes very easily. Okay, sorry friends. Now, price is coming down and price reacted from a point, which is a minor SR. Price reacted again and went up. What is that point? That point is a major SR, and there is a drop base rally, and hence that is a demand zone. As we all know, all drop base rallies rallies are demand zones, rally based drop and rally based rally based drop and drop based drop are supply zones. We just know that they are zones, but we don't trade every demand and supply zone, right? We always look forward to trade power zones. That is very clear. Now price retraces and quickly goes upside to form another rally base drop, and that is called as a supply zone. So this every one of us know. We all know this. Okay, we studied this in the second session only of price action. Right now, price comes towards the demand zone and starts reacting from there. Naturally, the zone is good, so naturally there could be some pending orders and price reacted. Now the real story begins. When it reacted, it formed a zone. It was what? What is that zone, friends? What price structure is this? It's a drop base rally. It's a drop base rally. Then what happens? Then price goes up and again creates another base and rallies. There is another zone now. What is this zone? This is again another drop base rally. What happened? There is a zone just above the zone. It's not even a level over level. It's a level on a level. Again, price creates the same phenomenon. It goes up and again creates a drop base rally. Another zone formed. That zone is also kissing the existing old zone. Similarly, the entire journey from this demand zone to the supply zone, there will be so many zones getting created and each zone touching and kissing another zone. Now when this process happens, what exactly is happening? The zone, each zone was kissing another zone, each zone was testing another zone. None of the zones are fresh zones. All zones are tested. All the demand orders have been consumed. It's not too many resistance on the way, Anand. There is no more resistance. Recollect the same bus story. The bus went from Bangalore to Chennai. It stopped at Krishnagiri. Somebody told, sir, there are a bunch of guys waiting in Hosur. The bus went back to Hosur, took everyone ahead. There are no more passengers in Hosur. The bus goes again from Krishnagiri to Salem. There somebody said, sir, there is some more people waiting in between the two points. That bus comes back and picks everyone. As it progresses towards Chennai, there is no passenger left in the journey. When there are no passenger left in any way, what will happen? Next time the bus comes back, it will just pass through because it doesn't see any people there to even pick them up in any direction for that matter. All zones are tested. All the demands in this journey would be eaten up. And it will be a direct non-stop again. Once it touches the top zone, then the price is very free to fall because the whole journey is compressed. All zones are tested. All these pending orders in those zones are eaten up. Imagine if that supply zone is a power zone. What if it is a cap? What if it is a supply FTR? What is if it is a flag limit supply? In all the cases, if price goes towards a power zone with lot of compression, your probability of success will double. Why? Because we know that the power zone has lot of pending orders, but in the opposite side there is nobody to fight. There is a question, if there are series of FTRs equals compression. No, it's not like that. If there are series of zones kissing each other, touching each other, that is compression. That is all. In simple words, if you can mark some zones, multiple zones, each zone kissing and touching each other, if the zones are testing each other, that is done. How many of you remember that we spoke about departure? What did I tell you? Departure has to be very powerful for a zone to be strong. The departure defines the momentum in that zone. The departure tells that there is pending orders. Now what about arrival? The arrival has to be opposite to departure. When you are waiting for a zone to trade, if the FTB, if it comes with lot of compression, then there is a high probability of your trade winning. Why? There are two reasons. Number one, your power zone has lot of pending orders. Number two, the price that is coming towards the power zone has no pending orders in opposite direction. There are no orders at all. All the whole zones are compressed. There is a question, if there is a distance between the two zones, is it not compression? Yes. If there is a gap between the two zones, then there might be some reaction. If all zones are kissing each other, then there is a high possibility of a free fall. Anatomy of a supply compression. Price formed a demand zone. Price formed a supply zone. Now, price formed a rally based drop. That's a zone. Now, price, once rally based drop happens, price enters the zone. What is that? FTB. Now, the green line is an FTB to that existing zone, right? And then it forms a base there, and there is like a zone kissing a zone. Now what happened? Now when price react back, if it is touching that zone again, that is an FTB to the first zone, right? So which means the first zone is kissing the test zone, the second zone is kissing the first zone, the third zone is kissing the second zone, and each zone will be tested. There will not be a single untested zone. There will not be a single fresh zone. All zones are tested. There is a high probability of all pending orders removed. There are no orders waiting for you to fight. All forts are destroyed while coming. But when it comes to the main power center, there will be a quick reaction. In summary, friends, there are only two things. Number one, when you mark a zone, there is a departure and an arrival. When the zone is formed, Okay, the departure decides the power of the zone, that the zone is strong. But when when price is coming to your zone for trading purpose, if it has series of compression, then be confident that the probability of winning trade would be high. There is a beautiful question. Ashok, is it not that not all orders are exhaust during the phase? Absolutely. It is not a classic vanilla scenario where there is zero pending order. There will be a bit of orders. It will come, do a bit of reaction, but eventually it goes and hits the opposite side of the zone. All tested zones are weak since all pending orders are consumed during the journey. As a result, when it comes to the power zone where there are excess pending orders, there will be a massive reaction. And hence, the price has to bounce. Compression into supply. This describes a particular type of price action where price swings up and down, observing supply and demand levels as it goes. As the price rises, creating higher highs and higher lows, each time it swings back after a rally, it absorbs the demand. There is a reason why price does this. The reason is all these demand zones are troubling the journey of a big short which is waiting at the power zone. So all these buy orders have to be eaten up before the free fall happens at the power zones. Does compression zone happens between power zones? There is nothing like a compression zone, friends. There is compression. There are zones which are compressed. You cannot say it as a compression zone. Yeah, all zones put together, maybe you can call as a compression zone. You are entitled for it. Okay, so pro money moves price in this fashion to clear the path for a massive short while using all the buy orders to build a major short position at the top. And when you see this happen, once the last demand is absorbed and the price reaches this strong power zone supply level, the price is free to move downwards. And this type of price action is called as compression. Here is a classic example. Now, in the traditional example that we saw, friends, all of you thought that it can be zone over a zone. Need not be. See, this is a rally, base, drop. So it's a demand zone. It's a drop, base, rally, demand zone. 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 Okay, there are 6 zones here. Now what happened? This zone is tested here. Correct? Once the price comes into the first zone, FTB, can you call this FTB, friends? So which means there are pending orders in this zone that are eaten up. Now this zone is formed. See, this guy kissed this zone. This is the FTB for this zone. And this zone is also tested. Now take this zone. There is one guy here. Can you see this guy? This guy came and tested this zone. So this is also FTB. Look at this zone. What happened? Drop, base, rally, and again here it is tested. Look at this zone. Drop, base, rally. This guy tested. Drop, rally, rally, base, rally. So this guy tested. Which means every zone is tested. Every zone is kissed. Which means throughout the journey of the price, there is a compression and price generally is playing like this, 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 and finally kissing that zone and eventually falling. Good observation, Anand. He says that the compression is happening, which is arrival is happening at 45-degree line, whereas the fall is almost 90 degrees. That is the whole purpose of compression. These are your odd enhancers. So in from with immediate effect, anybody taking an FTR or a flag limit or a cap, remember you must observe the process of arrival. So the price will go and touch the source of compression almost. That is the zone. Here it is. It's almost kissing there only. This is the point, right? Yeah, this is the point. Yeah, 98. See this? This is the tip of the zone. So finally, all the pending orders will be eaten up. Price will go and touch to the root of compression. And which is the source of compression? That is the right term to use. Source of compression is the right term. What is the arrival point here? Let me reclaim it. This is a power zone. You are waiting to do a short here. This is your stop loss, the distal line. This is your entry, your proximal line, and this is your FTB to trade. Okay, this is your FTB. But when price is coming, it is making multiple zones, and all zones are tested. And there is a statement, sir, there is a gap between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3. So what? 2 is also tested. 3 is also tested. I am not looking for zones kissing each other. Please do not expect the anatomy model to happen in real markets. The anatomy model is to explain you the concept and phenomenon. That is a classic scenario. It can also happen, but always it will not happen. Okay friends, finally all the 6 zones are tested and price took a 45-degree entry to travel all the path, see the compression all the way, and finally when it goes to the top, it makes a free fall. So with immediate effect, another rule to your kitty. What is that? Once you are decided to take a trade at an FTR, the cap, or your flag limit, remember to observe the arrival. The FTB arrival is precious. When price comes into your power zone in the form of a compression, you have double confirmation that your power zone is powerful because of the powerful pending orders, and the compression is telling you the opponent is very weak. It is like Australia versus some Namibia in cricket. The opponent is so damn weak and you are so damn strong, there is 200% chance that you will win that game. Okay, and your probability of success will go up many times. Okay, good observation, very good observation. One very good observation is that during the price journey, it is making higher highs and lower lows, which means it is coming and kissing the zones. Finally, the rule is simple. The rule is simple. The rule is that every zone has to be tested. At least there has to be an FTB in every zone. Then we call that the zone is tested, and hence we say that there is compression. In such scenarios, the kind of risk reward you can look for can be high because you can confidently think that the price will come to the base of the compression, and these kind of trades will give you a minimum 1:10 risk reward trades, and these kind of trades you should deviate from the 1:3 theory. These kind of trades will definitely come. Definitely they will come. Okay, exactly. That's right, Pratik. It may also reverse before reaching the power zone? Yes, of course it can reverse, but eventually we will wait for this trade only. See, price can do anything, friends. You can't say price will come, definitely come. No, nothing like that. And these kind of compressions at the peak, it will be phenomenally powerful. So compression would increase your probability. So compression, you need to check for arrival. Of course, you understood what corruption, not corruption, I'm sorry, compression. Okay, you understood what compression is. Going forward, in every trade, you need to look for arrival. If the arrival is because of so much of compression, your probability of winning that particular trade will increase big time. And there will be phenomenal risk reward in this journey. Okay, does it matter that all these zones should be kissing each other like in a classic scenario? Definitely no. Now, compression into the demand. It's exactly opposite to what it was doing in case of compression into the supply. So what is happening? See, there is a zone here. Okay, rally base base base, rally base rally, drop base drop. This is a zone. Rally base drop. This is a zone. Rally base drop. This is a zone. Rally base drop. This is a zone. So what has happened? This guy is tested already here. FTB, 2TB. And this guy is tested here. FTB. This guy is tested here. FTB. This guy is tested here. FTB. So all these zones are compressed. Okay. And there is one more zone. This guy has not marked it. Okay. This is one more guy. This guy is also tested. So what happened? From this point, price had a free fall. Can you guys make out that, friends? Can you tell me why fell? Momentum fall, momentum fall, momentum fall. Okay. Now see what happens. Now it's all compression. Okay. Now watch out this momentum fall, momentum fall, momentum fall. I will explain you why that is there later. Now once price comes into the zone, it will keep happily going up. See this region. See this region from this point. Can you see this travel? Compare with this zone. Correct? So there is no major problem. It just went up. Okay. And this concept is called liquidity spike. And today, last session, we will discuss about that. How many of you know this pattern wedges? How many pattern traders are there? How many of you trade patterns? Every pattern is also a price action behavior. When price is going like this, what is happening? It's all compression. And once it goes to a particular point called zone, the price goes to that supply zone, it has to fall. And before this, everyone was wondering why nobody used to think why a wedge will work, why a flag limit will work, why a head and shoulder, why cup and handle will work. They are all price action only on the background, but people don't understand price action. Okay. Type of arrival, the most crucial point in our discussion today. What is it? The opposite of departure. What does this mean? Why this is strong? Why this is weak? Friends, tell me. Too much of compression will reduce the amount of supply. The whole supply in this journey is destroyed. So price, when it comes to the strong demand zone, it can boom up. So the compression when the during the arrival of the price to the zone, then it is considered to be a great sign. This guy has many zone. This zone is untested. This zone is untested. This zone is untested. Perfect, Satish. So higher the compression, higher the probability of reaction, because the enemy is weak, and at this zone, this is the biggest den. The big boss is waiting. The hero is waiting here, but the enemy who comes here to attack the hero is a very, very small guy, and hence the hero will brutally rule the scenario. Is it clear, friends? Any questions so far? I will take a 5 minute, sorry, 1 minute pause and let me know. Okay. Okay. Now look at it. So Anirban is requesting for a repeat. Let's repeat. So the fact of the matter is there is a very strong power zone here. We are waiting for the trade. This is my proximal line. This is my distal line. I am going to go long here if the price come here. Why? Because there is lot of pending order here. This is a superior zone. Now price, see the departure. See the departure. How is the departure? Boom, boom. But see the arrival. Arrival is coming down, eating all the supply orders in the journey with lot of zigzag movement, testing every zone that is formed, and finally it come to the zone. We know the zone has good pending orders and there is no supply orders. Price will revolt. There is a question, can there be 2 TB also in the zone? If there is 1 TB, the FTB itself is eating pending orders. If it is 2 TB, it is eating more pending orders. There is lot more compression. There is lot more compression. Okay. Now, this is an example to make you guys understand the scenario. So what has happened? Is the departure strong, friends? How is the departure? Boom, it went up, straight line up. While coming up, what happened? Rally base, this is a base. This whole thing is a base. Rally, this because it's a big NRC base candle. That is a base. It got tested. Okay. Then rally, base, base, base. This is a gap. This also got tested. Okay. Drop, base, base, rally. This is a base. This got tested. Drop, base, base, rally. This got tested. Drop, base, drop. This is a zone. This also got tested. Like that, every zone is formed. So finally, price has to react because the the initial departure was very powerful, arrival was very horrible. So what is a great prospective trade, friends? A great departure and a slow arrival. What is the opposite? A slow departure and a great arrival is a bad zone. Remember, friends, add this rule into your journey with immediate effect. Arrival and departure should be verified before you take a trade at a zone. Can we make out just by looking at the 45-degree journey it is a base? No. Over the period of time you will come to know. That's not a big deal. But understand the essence. This price is coming down. When price is coming down, what kind of price structure happens? It has to be rally based drop or drop based drop. All the rally based, this is a first rally based drop. Price come here. Can you see it is tested here? Then what happened? Drop, base drop. So this is a big base, these 2 points. And once it came, what happened? There's base drop. Again it went back into the zone. Zone is gone. Okay, this whole zone is gone. Now look at this one. Drop, base, rally. This is a zone. It came and tested here. Gone. Rally, base drop. This is one Chotu zone. Okay, can you see this? This is only untested zone here. Rally, base drop. Can you guys make out this one, friends? Okay, now what happened? See here, price went up, came down and reacted also here. Why? Because there was an untested zone. This is an untested zone. Apart from this, everybody is tested. Now that is why when price is going up, boom, 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 came down, react. If you guys have understood that this is the only untested zone I saw in this particular example, give me a check. Okay. An untested zone need not be an authentic zone. This zone can be a reaction. How do I know this is an authentic zone? Go to the left. I saw a momentum candle. So this is an authentic zone. Friends, remember, I have tried really hard to define rules for everything. Remember. Okay. Remember that. It is, and you can't say is untested zone. You can't make such statements. You go back to again the basic fundamental rule book of our discussion. An untested zone is need not be an authentic zone. An authentic zone is an untested zone. Please go back and read the video all over again. What is an authentic zone? Authentic zone is a zone which is freshly formed on its own, which is not a reincarnation or a reaction to another zone. How to find an authentic zone? Mark the zone, go to the left. If at all it is touching some zone, there is a problem. Okay, in fact, this is a zone. It's a drop based drop. Sorry, this is not an authentic zone. Okay, drop base drop it is. It is not an authentic zone. But it is a fresh zone. It is forming for the first time. It is a fresh zone. But this zone got tested here. But it is not an authentic zone. This zone is a swap. I don't know. Let us cross check. So this is a resistance. This is a support. Price dropped down, went up, formed a base and came down. Okay, this is a supply FTR. Yes, it's a swap. Very nice, Pratik. Good job. Yes, authentic zone always look left. For tested zone always look right. That's what we said. Okay. Can we say a weak zone has many untested zones? Sorry, you told wrongly. A weak zone should have many tested zones. A strong zone should have no untested zone. Strong zone is an untested zone. What are strong zones? Strong zones are zones where there is good pending orders. This is a strong zone. Why do we consider this is strong? Because departure is strong. When departure is strong, we think there are pending orders waiting here. Here, arrival is weak. So we think all orders are killed. When you have a strong person here and a very weak enemy coming and hitting him, naturally he will react faster. Doesn't the base do congested? So what? From the base only reaction, always look at the source of engulf. We discussed the source of engulf. No, go back. That's okay. Drop base. This is where strong orders came. Before that, there was a lot of congestion. I agree. I don't mind. But the zone is this. not the below one. See, zone actually came and reacted from there only. Okay, friends, mark these points. These are the price action odd enhancers. A compression during an arrival is a very powerful enhancer. Okay. Now, why this is a bad situation? This guy went rally, base, rally, rally, base, rally, 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 base, rally. He created lot of zones while going up. Okay. While coming back also, this guy created many zones. Rally, base, drop. This is one zone. Drop, base, drop. This is one zone. Drop, drop and rally. Drop, rally, drop, rally and drop. This is one zone. Drop, base, drop. This is one zone. Okay, drop, base, drop. This is one zone. So what has happened? Of course, all these demand zones are killed now. Okay, these demand zones are killed. That's okay. Okay, but there are so many supply zones created. But these many supply zones will put lot of restrictions. When I go back, this guy will react, this guy will react, this guy will react, this guy will react. Everyone will react. Everyone will fight with me now. The enemy is not coming. When he was coming down, he was not destroyed and killed. When the enemy was coming, he was creating new forts, chotu forts for himself. Naturally, when I go in that direction, he will attack me. Sir, if you go to trading view chart of compression into demand, the arrival was not good. If it's okay, fine. So this is the thumb rule, friends. Understand the concepts. Okay, this is a fundamental concepts. Why a compression during an arrival should be considered powerful. There are only two reasons for us to be strong. Either we should be strong, our enemy should be weak. In this game, we know we are strong because that is a power pattern. And second, the enemy is weak because there is compression. That's it. What happens when a strong opponent with a weak enemy fights? Naturally, the strong guy wins. So your trade should win. Simple. Okay. So keep watching, keep marking compressions, keep seeing how compressions react. Definitely you guys will understand. Okay, here is the compression story. Okay, and observe, finding compression is also not easy. It requires a bit of observation. Okay, this is a newly formed supply. Okay, rally base drop. Okay, now this zone is tested. Okay, then what happened? Rally base rally happened. This is one zone. This zone is tested. Now what happens? Rally and drop. Okay, drop base rally. This zone is tested. Drop base drop. Base, everywhere it is base. So there are multiple bases coming here and there. Naturally the whole zone is compressed. And now when I say compression, don't say Ashok price didn't come like this. Okay, don't expect classical classroom patterns. Exam in the exam, in the school, when you write the when you learn the concepts, the teacher will teach you 3 5s are 10, 5 3s are 15. In the exam he will write what is 5 to the power of 3 and 3 to the power of 5. So naturally it will be different. When you see more base candles, you can expect more compression. Yes, when you look more base candles, when you can expect more compression. That is what happened here. Price came here. Price, see what it did here. It elegantly did the same thing. Okay, the price dot base formed, price again came down, went up, came down, went up, down, up, down, down. Okay, then again went up, down. See, it's all compression only. It's clear compression. When that happens, see what happened. Momentum. The compression got cleared. It went to the origin of compression. Okay, now look at this. Now friends, what is this zone? Can somebody tell me what this zone is? There was a question, how do I take an entry in previous example? No, that example was just to show you that there is compression. Only compression, you are going to enter only in your FTR, flag limit and cap zones. Okay, if price approaches with compression, then only you trade. That example was just to show how compression behavior is. This is an FTR zone, perfect friends. Then what happens? It's a clean zone now. Price came, it tested here and reacted. So we got our 1:3 risk reward trade. Now what happens when this journey drop base. So this is a base, come up, down, 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 up, down. Can you see this zigzag manner it formed? So naturally the compression was cleared with C bull run. Why it is cleared? It came to the FTB. This is FTB, sorry. This is FTB and this is 2TB. So second time you can take the trade because the arrival was with a compression. You can be guaranteed that your FTL will react again. This is how you should look at it. This is an FTR. The first TB was a jerk reaction. This was a classic behavior. Friends, try to understand this one example. You guys are all set. Okay. So what happened? This is an FTR zone. Every one of you know this. This is an FTR. Okay, this guy is the first FTB. Okay, why? And it's a spike, it's a kiss trade. It just came to that zone, just kissed and went up. Now second time when it was doing lot of compression and coming down, you can be damn sure that this zone will definitely react again, because even though it is 2TB, because now you know two things. Now okay, now when FTB happens, you are a strong opponent. Okay, when once FTB is done, definitely some pending orders, if there's some pending orders being eaten. But 2TB, the pending, there would be some more pending orders. Now we don't care taking a 2TB here because the compression is so bad. So definitely reaction can be there. And if you ask me, Ashok, what about a compression in FTB? A compression in FTB is a classic case. I am sure the probability of a compression in FTB for an FTR, for a flag limit, for even for a cap, the win rate would be a lot more. Okay, this is a 2TB, friends. This is a surely 2TB. And this is FTB. It is FTB. Shailesh, it is, I'm sure. By the time we place order, we will be missing execution. Why will you wait order? See, the price went here. This is where you decided, my friend. This is the date you decided for FTB. Your FTB came here. There was at least 1 month gap. But that kiss came in a single day. FTB is a spike. I'm not denying, but that limit orders you should have put in the system to take the trade, no? FTB can be a crime. So what? But that's a limit order, right? So this is where the algo, execution systems will help you. Okay. All right. In case of compression, you guys don't have to worry. All price will always go to the, the origin of compression, the source of compression. So in such case, you can expect a very higher risk reward. We can surely expect a very high risk reward. In this example, look at this. Again, rally base. This is a zone. Rally base drop. Okay. Rally and drop. Okay, see, this guy tested this zone, this guy was tested this guy. Okay, and this zone was tested this fellow, and this zone was tested by this fellow, and this zone was tested by this fellow, and this big zone was tested by this fellow. So all zones were tested. So naturally, and then what happened? Look at this. This is a zone where we are waiting to trade. So approach is bad. Naturally, it can react. And the reaction was very quick. And remember, this is the rule book I am telling. If it is FTB and approach is compression, okay, then it is a classic. Definitely here you can expect a win rate to be a minimum of 50 or plus, because this is a place where you are stronger, your enemy is very weak. Yes, yes. At your power point, at your power pattern, in your power patterns, whether you are trading flag limit, FTR or caps, if the FTB happens with compression, then be sure that the probability of the trade is very, very high. Now look at this trade. This is one zone, strong zone waiting for trade. Don't ask why this zone. This is a good zone, one of our power pattern, just assume. Okay, this is a zone which got formed. It was tested here. Okay, this guy killed the zone. Now once this zone is formed, this guy killed, price came and went again. Okay, and when this guy is formed, this chotu fellow killed the zone. And when this guy is formed, this guy killed the zone. And when this guy is formed, okay, now next is this guy, this guy killed a zone, and this zone, this momentum candle killed. Okay, and this guy killed. So finally this is a liquidity spike. We will talk about it in the last session today, why the liquidity spike will come. And once the zone is comes, the move would be very quick and you will get the movement. Now you can ask me, Ashok, why the price didn't go to here to this point. Price will definitely go, it takes time. If the compression is close to each other, can you guys tell me why this price didn't reacted from here only, friends? Why the price reacted from here only? Okay, there's a lot of gap between zones. There's a lot of gap between zones. Whenever the zones are very close, definitely you will get more. Exactly. Another beautiful question. Ashok, is the arrival good when there is liquidity spike? Yes. Yes. We'll come to that topic. Now look, this is another classic compression example. Okay. So look at this, all base only. Fall, up, 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 down, 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 up, down. It went up, came down, went up, came down, came down, went up, down, up, down. So the whole journey, if you keep marking the bases, think about marking bases. The best way to identify the genuine compression is marking your bases. I am going to mark my bases now. So this is like drop, base, rally. This is a zone. This rally is a rally. This zone is tested because this fellow came inside. Okay, it's gone. It is killed. Now drop, base, rally. Now this is my next zone. This is my next zone. Price went up. Okay, price went up. Now rally, base, drop. Okay, this zone, this guy tested the zone. Now this is base, rally. So rally, base, drop. This whole thing is a base. Okay, it came down, it tested. Okay, so what happens is you can even look at it. So 45 degrees is the overall journey. There's a lot of bases. So what is the one you observed? There are so many base formations. Whenever there is maximum base formation, friends, and if it is roughly 45-degree level, as you can suspect compression. Okay, so when price comes to that point, they will fall. And there are many classic compression examples we'll get in your journey. Now go back, look on charts, you will be wondering, you'll be finding lot of such scenarios. So if I look at this example, drop, base rally. This candle tested it. Take a yellow line so that take a blue and red is there. Better color is to take blue, purple. Okay, so this candle tested it. Okay, now drop, base drop, base. These are all base only. The whole thing is base. So I consider the whole thing is gone. This zone has no meaning for me. Okay, now drop, base rally. So this is another zone. So it is tested. Okay, so like this they keep testing each other. So eventually what is happening overall? Up, down, 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 up, down. So everywhere it is this zigzag movement. Okay, and many times it will be, you will not be able to even it's not easy to spot on. See, this is another classic example. Think about this, friends. This is a rally base drop. If you take the entire zone, this guy has tested it. Okay, now rally base drop. Now this guy is a full zone. After base, this fellow has tested it. Okay, now um, drop, base drop. So this guy is a whole base. Okay, this guy has dropped, but this guy entered the zone and destroyed that zone. Now rally, base drop. This is one zone which remains to be untested, but it is tested here. This guy has tested. Okay, now rally, drop, base rally. So this guy has tested. Drop and then rally, base. These are all bases only. These are all bases only. Okay, the whole thing is compressed and the whole journey is compressed. See here reactions. This bloody price came like this and went up like this in no time. In no time. Okay, but only thing that we have to observe in this chart is this is the biggest departure. Momentum, base. Okay, this is a classic departure, but when price comes here, it has gone. And the beauty is see, the problem is departure was awesome. Okay, while coming back, I'll take a red color only, it's not clear. While coming back, okay friends, this came like this only roughly. Okay, then what happened? This is a crazy scenario where even departure was like this from here, from that zone. So that is why this fellow came down like this. Can you guys get that? This is a classic scenario where there is a fantastic departure. Okay, there is a classic arrival. So this entry is perfect for us to trade. This is what we are looking for. But our trade, when it was going back, it formed series of again compressions. So when it went to the zone level, top level, it reacted. Both ways it gives compression. It's a double compression. Okay, so here is one example. So friend, this is a classic departure for me. Rally, this is a base, rally. Okay, it's a good departure roughly. So let me take yellow. Okay, now rally, base drop. Okay, so once rally, base drop came, when price went inside, so this zone is tested. Rally, base, this rally, base drop. Look at this fellow, this candle went inside and this fellow tested it, so that zone is also tested. Drop, base, drop. So this is the base almost. Price dropped and again went inside, that fellow is also tested. Now drop, base, base, drop. This is the guy. Drop. Okay, price dropped and again he is tested. So this is a good zone, so we took the trade. Now the beauty is you can see the same scenario here. Now you can always question me, Ashok, why the journey is the, when all the zones are tested, when all the zones are tested, why the departure is not strong? Because see, we know that enemy is weak, enemy has become weak. Probably we are not strong, no, we don't have, probably we don't have the maximum energy to push it. These pending orders may not be as big as we are thinking, as big as we are thinking. Now the beauty is this. Mm, the beauty is this. Now this is a point where that maximum reaction came. No, now look at this. These are all compression only almost. Rally, base, rally. This is tested. Can you see that? Okay. So even now this is going at compression, which ideally means when price comes here, it might react. Who is this fellow? Glenmark Pharma. Let's watch what Glenmark does when it comes to 700 levels. Okay, so downward is not 45 degrees and that could be reason. No, it's not like that. It's there is no rule that the 45-degree compression should happen. Okay, so don't ever think those things. Just remember it should be tested, that's all. Now look at this. This is a zone which I marked. This zone is tested, 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 this zone is tested. Now tell me why it is tested. Now apply. Keep observing you keep observing. Okay, so there is a zone, there is a zone below a zone. Rally, base, 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 drop. Okay, this guy came into this zone. Okay, then base, 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 this guy came and kissed this zone, this guy came and kissed this zone. Again this base went out, again this fellow came inside, this cone is tested, this cone is tested. Rally, base, base, rally, this guy is tested, but this fellow is not tested according to me. Yeah, this fellow is clean. Now rally, base, this base went up, see this guy has tested it, so this fellow is also killed. Okay, rally, base, 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 drop, base, rally, dbr. Okay, or rally base drop, this is the zone. Yeah, rally base drop. Okay, after drop this guy went inside, so this is also tested. So that is the whole reason when it finally went to this zone. Look at this fellow, it's a gap up. Friends, can you make out? It's a gap up. This guy is a gap up, that is a liquidity spike. And remember that except this zone, all zones are tested. Okay, so look at the free fall, it's just a straight line fall. Okay, compression is a beautiful phenomenon, friends. If you can identify right compression points, see, that's what I've been telling everyone. Okay, I was talking to Gautam ji after our session today. Okay, he said, Ashok, if with just 100 trades and whatever 35% win rate, we get 40% CAGR. But if you are taking 200 trades in a year, it becomes 80% CAGR at 35% win rate. But let's say if you even take 100 only, for that matter, only 2 trades per week. Okay, but you need to look for such maximum compressions, a great FTR, super departure, bad arrival, very small NRC bases, odd enhancers. Okay, when we do all this elimination and get those classic patterns, definitely our win rate is surely more than 35%. We will elegantly touch 50% win rate. But of course it doesn't come for free, it has its own challenge. We need to put our hard efforts to reach that level. Now let's look at this. Who's this guy? Okay, now just look at this, friends. Okay, don't see, apply common sense. You every time you don't have to get inside a particular, you know, pattern to check. Array, this zone is tested, this zone is tested. No, that is just to make you understand what it means. Now look at this only. See how this guy has gone zigzag. No, zigzag, 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 zigzag. Look at this fall, 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 fall. For momentum, price came down. Look at where this way went. This case. See, can I make it down, down, up, down, 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 up, down? He went inside the zone. See the fall. The falls comes faster. Let us do this. Look at this fellow. This fellow is more interesting. Okay, this is called as a 3 drive actually, friends. Okay, this is a zone actually. Okay, this is called as a 3 drive. We will talk 1 2 3 drive, and then if it enters the zone, it will be boom. We just have to capture such trades, friends. 8 trades per month like that will set the vastu of our trading career. Okay, now understand and be clear that all these falls are purely because of excess compression. This fall is because of compression. See the fall, speed of fall. See the time of arrival. See the time of arrival. See the time of arrival. I'm sorry. Yeah, arrival. Okay. If arrival is compressed, departure would be superior. And if that departure point is a power zone, our win rate is very, very high. So now look at chart. Now forget zones. First look at only very good, very powerful compression. Just have a look at it. Identify after compression what happens. Don't worry about zones and all. Then we can do that marking and all to reach that level. Okay. So the summary of the learnings today. The compression is very useful for our trading. If price arrives at the tradable zone with compression, expect your trade to work extremely well. What is a tradable zone? Friends, what is a tradable zone? The power zones. Correct. Compression is not a tradable pattern. Compression is not a tradable pattern. Don't ever try, okay, this is compressed, it is fall. No. It is highly immature on anyone trying to say after series of compression, I will take a trade. No. But your compression can go on forever till a point and then it fall. Okay. Always wait compression in a zone. Never ever just blindly trade compression. Is that clear, friends? Trading compression blindly is like just a stunt and there is no science behind. Always look for compression towards the supply or demand zones. Departure must be very fast. Arrival must be super compressed for a lovely trade. If you guys understand this statement properly, our mission for this session is accomplished. Departure must be very fast. Arrival must be super compressed. What does it mean? There are two things. Departure is very fast means you are strong. Arrival is very compressed means your opponent is weak. Simple. For a long trade. Exactly for a long trade, and the same theory hold good for short also. Okay, and now it's time for Q&A. Let me address some of the open questions. Please show it in Sun Pharma chart. Santu Sarkar, did you see some compression in Sun Pharma? Can we check Indus Bank daily chart for compression zone to reach FTR supply zone? Who is that? Indus Bank. Okay, let's try. Um, Daily. It all studies. Indus IND Bank. Yeah, sorry. Let's go to Viratech database. Yeah, okay. Delete all studies. The chart is updated. I guess there can be a reaction at this point in this guy. So you guys, we can look for short opportunities in Indus Bank right now, the kind of price action. Anyway, so friends, this is all compression. Starting here, this is all compression. Is that down, up, 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 down, up. Can you see? These are all compression, pure compression. This whole thing is compression. This whole thing is a classic compression. And this is the point, origin of compression. Okay. So look at this one. Rally, base, base, base. Did it come there? This zone? Yeah. No, this zone is not tested zone. This is a clear zone. Okay. So it is all compression only till that point. So such kind of journeys definitely is a clear indication for a fall. You know, I guess even investors can focus on compression because whenever we see compression in at some point of peak, it's a clear indication in advance so that investors can also get out of the trade. Okay. Okay. Price entering demand zone very slowly to go long. Yes, price entering demand zone very slowly, but departure should be powerful. Always remember, departure strong, arrival weak. That is our theory. The opposite is true. When we apply all flag limit, FTR, cap and study the compression pattern, if all satisfy, can we tell? Absolutely. When you look for a trade, and if you find a compression towards your zone, you can definitely, your power zone, you can definitely take the trade. That is the whole essence and meaning of it. Have a look at Federal Bank. Federal Bank. Delete all studies. Okay. So here is the Federal Bank. No, I don't see compression here. It's all bit of congestion here. Okay. And this is a classic fall here. Okay. It can come there, but there is level over level. Rather, price can even retrace from this point. Yeah. No, I don't see any major compression there. Compression has to be a journey, friends. Compression has to be a journey. An uptrend is different, compression is different, remember. See, these are all compressions. These are all compressions, up, down, up, down, up, down. Where we will see maximum compressions? You will see maximum compression in regions where there is major swing high, swing low. You don't have to look for testing zone, each zone. No, uptrend is different, compression is different. Uptrend would be very, very clear. Your FTR is an uptrend story. Okay. Tech Mahindra has a good compression at 640 levels. So where is the compression? See, this is compression for me. This is all compression for me. Okay. Even this is compression for me. Okay. There has to be clear, like zigzag, zigzag. Remember that. Okay. So Anirban says he can draw trend line in compression too, but we don't trade trend lines, right? We are not looking for trend line breakout. We are looking to trade only classic power patterns, right? In price action. We are looking to trade only classic power patterns, right? Okay, you should never trade these kind of charts, friends. You need to have clear clarity. Okay. Okay. So the message of this session, friends, is that compression during an arrival will increase our win rate because of one reason, that the enemy is weak. It will make him weaker. Okay. So Malapan, to reduce the font, sorry Malapan, that has to be fixed in the new i3t3.dll, which I will only take up post the project, post the training program. So we'll be in a position to only touch it up next month. I will do an on and off thing probably. I'll arrange that. Okay. So Anirban, it will see. Remember, okay, your compression can happen in an upward trend. That's all. Okay, you are telling I can mark a trend line on a compression. That is fair. That is not wrong. But all that we are telling is that compression is what? It is eating pending orders on the downside. That zigzag movement is like disturbing. Acha, what exactly is happening? Tell me. When you zoom that compression, friends, and go at lower time frame, what is happening? It is eating buyers, sellers. It is confusing everybody. It is confusing all the intraday players on hourly candle, 15-minute candle, right? It's eating away the supply. It is eating away the demand. Those guys are fully confused as to what is happening with this chart, because it is all compression, and the uptrend, it is happily eating all the pending orders. Okay, but to summarize in simple words, do not stress too much. Remember, you all know very well that you will only trade flag limit, FTR, caps, swaps, and Quasimodos. When you take a trade, make sure to check how the price is arriving to your zone. That's all. If price is arriving to with too much of whipsaw, like up down, up down, up down, which means you can assume that it can react very well. That's all. It takes little time. Watch the video again. I'm damn sure you will understand it. It's just a simple concept that all zones are tested. If you guys understand, already know that anything about fresh zones and tested zones, then this phenomenon is pretty simple. So whenever I show examples in AMI broker, if it is an intraday, I will use future database. If it is daily, I will use equity database. Okay, fantastic. So with this, we'll come to the second session of the day, the compression theory. Okay, and I hope every one of you enjoyed the show. The next session would probably start little early today, since it's already 1 o'clock. We will come and meet at 2 o'clock sharp, and we will go ahead with the third and last session of the day, liquidity spike. and 3 drive. Okay, that's a very small session, and it will not take much time. It will hardly take an hour or 1 and 90 minutes maximum. So with after that, we will take the break for today and we'll wind up the day. Okay, I hope every one of you enjoyed the session. I look forward for your feedbacks. Okay friends, I got only 5 to 6 feedbacks yesterday. Kindly send all your feedbacks in telegram to privately to me or Savita ma'am. Anything is fine for us. Okay, but please spare 5 minutes to send feedback, and critics are mostly welcome. And all the 3 critics that I have in this workshop, I'm very happy with all your critics. You guys have really helped to improve, and definitely I hope you guys realize the fact that the first investing session, how much we struggled in order to pump the videos into the data into the website. Right now, it happens in no time. So these are all things which we have been improving, and as I told you, you're all the victims of our R&D. So the first batch is always the batch which takes maximum pain, while the second batch generally enjoys the fruits of the better improved processes and plans. Okay, thank you very much friends. I'll see you all again at 2 o'clock sharp. Have a nice day. Bye bye.